Hey there, Joanna Bronson, reading for Priscilla.
That Samantha Power speech was insane and the most self-indulgent speech I've ever heard. USA is good, Russia is evil. Yeah, we've heard that before.
What are you talking about? The Assam regime has been brutally killing people since 2011. In 2015, the Russians joined, and since then, it's been the most heinous thing happen on the planet, targeting civilians, executing relatives of rebels.
So glad you mentioned 15.
Let me finish, okay? Let me finish. White Helmet rebels have reports of them targeting hospitals. Not just Assad's regime doing this, Russian planes.
The fog of war.
What?
The fog of war. This is one narrative of the story. Competing narratives.
Not at all. Human Rights Watch
Now let me finish. The fog of war. It's very hard to get real information. We both know that. There is no one on the ground there giving these testimonies other than the white helmets. And of course they're going to say that so that they can topple Assad. Very selective reports. This is just another humanitarian crisis that's actually a regime change.
Insane.
You mentioned 15. September 2015, Obama wanted to work with Russia to get rid of certain terrorists. The Department of Defense sabotaged the deal, and then all of a sudden we called these terrorists rebels and helped them. We're funding terrorists to topple Assad. Face it, this is a proxy war.
We're not targeting civilians.
The Al-Qaeda, Al-Nusra terrorists are. Look, we both know shit happens on both sides, and you're not stupid. You have this inkling to always jump to humanitarian issues, but you know what this is about. Russia and Syria liberated Palmyra from ISIS. Why didn't we? Aren't we there to fight ISIS? No, we're there doing another regime change. It's all about pipelines and resources and land. It's just a proxy war with Russia, and the real danger to peace is not coming from there. It's coming from D.C. We're too entangled in that sweaty shithole, and we can't get our hands out of it.
That's damn right. It's a proxy war. And you know how this shit works. The sandpit. All those damn sandpits out there, they're filled with dictators, insane radical Muslims, slaughtering civilians. And yeah, if we go in to stop the dictator, there's going to be a lot of blood. A lot. And so I can understand your skepticism about everything being a humanitarian issue. We've been through that, but like I also said earlier, I'm talking about the grand scheme.
Please enlighten me to the light at the end of the tunnel.
The game. The real war. The war between democracies like ours that aren't perfect. NATO countries built after the Second World War. Freedom, being able to speak, being able to dissent, being able to burn a fucking flag. The war that between that and Russia. Putin, an autocratic dictator who would intervene just as much as us if we didn't get there first. You want him going in there because that's what the sandpit is. Whoever controls the sandpit controls the oil. Whoever has the oil has the power. And who do you want to have the power?
Well, maybe if we worked with them, they wouldn't be the enemy and we could find a common interest.
You can't trust them. You give them an inch and they'll be further in the sandpit. Next thing you know, they'll invade.
You think your Cold War mentality is what's best for the world? Look, I know it's tough growing up with a victim of the Soviet Union empire, but that Cold War is over. That mentality is what's creating a new one with more nukes in play. It's extreme paranoia and insane. This country is not fucking God. You said to me you have no faith in our leaders. Well, you know what? You don't have any faith in people. People of those countries, or even in Russia, to have their own self-determination to reach a level of democracy like we have without bashing it over their heads and losing to the point of millions of lives, innocent lives.
That's a pretty idealistic way to look at it.
No, you're the idealist, looking up to the leaders of free America, expecting them to know what's best for the rest of us. That is sappy idealism. Russia is a reactor. And you know what? They reacted pretty well after 9/11. They gave us soldiers in the wars. They gave us intelligence.
Because they had to. Now that they have power, they're going to want to spread their authoritative dictatorship wherever they can.
And what'd we do? Expand NATO and went against what we promised them in 1990.
Better us than them, because they'll, take over and do their Russian bullshit.
We're involved in what? 9 countries now, all over the fucking desert, on top of expanding NATO.
We're helping those countries. We don't intentionally target civilians like the Kremlin strategic hospital.
Yes, we do. We've both seen it.
They aren't orders from a dictator to bomb hospitals and kill children.
The atrocities matter. The Kremlin may have not direct communication with the military, and yes, we're far more decentralized, but these atrocities happen. Orders are given.
We don't murder journalists. We don't kill soldiers. We don't target children. We don't fund genocide with the intent.
Intent. I've made those orders.
War's war.
I killed children under that fucking Barcy sun.
Let me finish.
I went into buildings, get me 250s, 2 clicks west. I knew there was a high-level Iraqi army lieutenant that I had to take out in that building. The Iraqis were fighting with kept point at the building ahead of us. Alibaba, they screamed, Alibaba, screaming over the sound of motors, Alibaba, to make the call. So that looking to me to make the call. I made the call. I ordered them in. It was my AOR. Bam. They went through the door and I followed, spraying any wall I could see, ripping through those fucking people's wall with family photographs all over them. Clear eye here. We got the lieutenants over and over, and there they are, all the Alibaba, a fucking room filled with 2, maybe 3 families hiding together in a room, all laid out like a goddamn pile of Holocaust corpses. There they were, scared and huddled together, 3-year-olds, 5-year-olds in the center, so the parents and the brothers and aunts would make sure they didn't get killed. But with the equipment we had, no, death, decay, blood, children's, babies' bloods and guts engraved all in their fucking eyes.
Calm down, it's okay.
I did too much there. I did too much of what you said is good, and it's no good. It's rotten, and you can't keep pretending like what you did out there was just, or drink whatever the hell that you do just
I've done shit I'm not proud of. But don't act like I'm just spewing all of this to justify myself. I believe it, and yeah, I drink, but it's not cause of war. I'm content.
Content, please. You're gonna end up like your dad, drink and stay paranoid, Russia.
Don't project your problems.
Oh, what a load of shit.
Well, what about you? Doing all these anti-war events, telling all these soldiers what they did meant nothing, putting yourself in the high horse takes the pain away.
Fuck you.